and now they're in, what is it, last place in Europe. So it's not usual for you to see a team dominate. EG, I think, is the bigger story with how ineffective they've looked. They have looked lost on a lot of rounds, whether it's their IGLing or not. I'm sure you have some thoughts on it, but it has been a disappointing performance for them as we bring up the map veto system for you, and we're going to go to bank.
We are going to bank, yeah, that'll be interesting, and I could share my thoughts on Evil Geniuses, but obviously I'm not on the team. And, you know, MBK, actually, I think he made a tweet about that recently, where it's like, you know, you're not on the team, you don't know. And it was directed at someone else, but it's a really good point, because we don't. We don't know what's going on with Evil Geniuses, but what we do know is that they have been playing way underneath expectations.
Yes.
And the conversation that always comes up, whether it's you're interviewing a pro, I think it was Houghton who brought this up, who mentioned it, or just our own speculation. Speaking of speculation, go ahead and share yours. Wow.
That is very close. 49% for Evil Geniuses, 44% for eUnited, and 7% for a draw.
Yes, whether it be pros, casters, community, doesn't matter. All we can really do is speculate and wonder why. And what we do know is that, again, EG's flying under the radar for expectations, mainly because of the roster. You look at EG and you see those players and you think to yourself, they're so good. You know, think about their history. Think about what they've accomplished with those players, and you'd imagine that it would be working out. But it's almost like every single play day for EG, they come into this and they just underperform based on those expectations. And the names aren't going away. These are really old names on EG that are respected and revered within North America and always have been. And that's not going to go away just because of one bad season. But the question is, then when? When is it going to stop? When is this going to stop happening to EG? Is really what everyone's kind of wondering. And, you know, further, if they can't beat eUnited, then what's the story moving forward?
The history involving this team of Evil Geniuses, significantly better than most of their regional counterparts. If you scale it all the way back, or if you go all the way back to when they were Continuum, they are the most successful North American squad that has played this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they won Season 3.
They're the only ones to actually win anything.
They won the first Invitational, which, by the way, King George was on that team. Maybe you could argue that he was the difference maker. Maybe I don't. Maybe.
Yeah, they need to get King George back. That's the answer.
Back. There's your hashtag to start trending. Bring back King George, or King George for EG. There you go. King George for EG. There's your hashtag right there. Bring it back.
Hashtag King George for EG.
Hashtag King George for EG. But as the bands go on in the background, they win Season 3 finals. The first North American team to win a championship after Penta and Youngtis win the first two. They win the very first Invitational on Canadian soil. They then end up with very high expectations. They get EG as an organization in Season 6. They get blown out in the very first round to ENCE, eventual champions. Then they bounce back. They make it to the finals in what is still, in my opinion, in the opinion of many others, the greatest game of Rainbow Six we've ever seen, get played against Penta at the second Invitationals. Then after that, you have a string of performances from EG where they continuously go very deep. They end up in the Paris Major Finals. They lose. Milan, they lose, but they're in the finals yet again. And how quickly
that was recent.
How quickly that team fell off. Raleigh, they don't make it out of groups. The team implodes. Canadian leaves for Space Station. They bring on Mo. You know, they had significant issues with the squad, and now they're second last.
A reminder, Mo, a free agent top-tier talent. I think he was on a lot of people's lists as somebody that had a lot of potential in competitive, and he's proving that too.
Yes.
Like we can't take anything away from Mo. It's not like he's causing the issues. I mean, he's one of two people, him and MVK, who are really actually having any kind of performance here on EG through this season. You know, these types of things, they change rapidly. It's not like EG's not going to be able to bounce back. It's not like, maybe they'll do it right now. Maybe this is the match where it all begins and they start the resurgence. Maybe EG collapses. Maybe the players go their separate way and the team just explodes. One thing we do know is they don't have to worry about relegation. So, you know, they're gonna stay in Pro League. They've got longevity.
People might ask, why don't they have to worry about relegations? For those that are not in the loop, obviously nothing wrong with that. It was announced earlier in the season that North America would be expanding to 10 teams next season. So because of this, no team is obviously going to get relegated. We're going to be adding 2 more teams to North America.
Yeah, so there's no stress this season. But But there is a lot to say about what EG has been showing us, and there's a lot of questions as to when is, again, the question that comes back to my mind all the time is just, when is it going to change? This is a really interesting way to hold the main stairs from Forrest. I like that. So basically what he's going to be doing is preventing a retake of main stairs, and that's his whole job now. He'll sit perched on the top of the main stairs and just look down, using the drone for some information before he even actually needs to take the fight. Oh, is that oh.
Yeti is giving you a compliment, and that is a gorgeous old skin from Red Crow, is it not?
Yeah, it's a pretty old one, yeah.
That's an old skin.
It's good to see that. Nice combination there, Yeti. I'm sorry that we're not hair brothers anymore, whatever that means.
He shaved all his hair off. When are you next?
Somebody said that, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but yeah, he used to have long hair.
Frag grenade gets tossed down, and nobody from EG is really gonna have any hurt being put in. Yet he continues to breathe in those toxic canisters as Necrox is wasting heaps of time at the top of blue stairs, server stairs if you want to call it that. There goes the last toxic canister. Immediately the drone gets shot, and Reed moves towards open area. In go the flashes. Necrox looks to peek. Reed goes down NBK. There's two people in there, yet he gets one, looks for the other. Oh, he almost hits it as well. It looked like it was Mo who's able to scamper off. Do you re-engage if you're EG?
Well, it seems like yes, as there's the re-engagement. Modigga will get the second kill as he re-peaks that, and Yeti goes down. Yeti is a big difference maker for eUnited, so seeing him dispatched like that is really important. A big risk from Modigga, but he made it work, so that's all that really matters. If you're going to come out successful from stuff like that, then big win to you. Now there's a big mountain to climb for eUnited, as Evil Geniuses have a Pulse, they have a Maestro, and they've got plenty of denial for that planted C4s, possibly 2 in hand right now. With only 35 seconds left, an Xcaro set will be used, rather 2, on this default plant wall in an attempt to get that plant, but the odds of getting a plant in this situation are slim, given the current operator lineup for EG, as I stated earlier.
Goes one on a call out from Young. Callout, of course, being the ultimate support player. C4 goes out from Gotcha, hits Grixer in his forest. He takes one. That's all. That's all. Won't find more than that. He was a little bit late to the party, but with NVK calling as the Pulse, that's tons of information that they can give, and EG will go up 1-0.
So, a pretty good clear there of the server a pretty good hold of the server. The clear looked like it was set up well. Yeti got that first kill, and things were going well for eUnited, and that's why I'm starting with pretty good because it was, they had some good moments there. But then it all kind of fell apart as Modigga repeaked, got Yeti, and then got away with no punishment. And more importantly, I think, eUnited wasted a lot of time after they lost Yeti. They were worried about Modigga staying in server, and they tried to drone. They tried to be thorough and check, and he had already fallen back to the site at that point, so eUnited wasted a whole heck of a lot of time. They had to come into server with 30 seconds left, open up the wall, and then what? You're going to go for a plant? No, not with 2 C4s, you're not. Not with Evil Eyes, no. Evil Genius is pretty easily waiting out that round after the performance there from Modigga, getting those 2 kills on server stairs. Yes. A lot of time spent on the clear, and I think that's another big note.
Impressive stuff.
I want to also quickly say is I think that the haircut was the right decision for Yeti. He looks really good with the short hair. I haven't seen myself in short hair in years, so I don't know.
People got perturbed because I said that I've seen a picture of you with short hair.
Yes, I don't, but I lost that one. Everybody always asks me, is like, where's that picture? And I actually don't know where it is because I lost it.
So I've seen it. 5 seconds left. And you look damn handsome.
Thank you, Parker. I haven't had short hair since my teenage years, though, and I'm almost 23. Oh my gosh, Parker, I'm almost 23. I have been doing Siege my entire adult life.
Oh my goodness.
There goes Callout NVK with the peak from the loan office. I love to see confidence like that from MVK. Whenever he has that confidence, he brings moments like that, and he puts his team in the lead.
He has been by far and away EG's best player this season. Last matchup, even though they got slaughtered by Dark Zero, 7-2, NVK was playing his heart out, and you could tell that the man is on a mission to keep this team relevant. He's taken obviously more of a leadership role with the squad, and even though commenters and in I guess like the public realm have doubted his abilities over the past couple seasons, it's good to see him silence the critics and bounce back.
I think MVK as an individual, Definitely. I mean, we could talk about EG at large having a really underwhelming season, but MVK as an individual has been stepping up, and it almost seems like he's building back his confidence that we remember way back when MVK. You know, like we're talking about winning invitationals MVK. That guy, I feel almost like it's been a while. Like he got put in a corner, and he's starting to work his way out of that corner, and I'm wondering how far he can go with it, because it looks good, but how far is that going to take Evil Geniuses? There goes Young. So eUnited back into the round on an even man count. Half the round transpired, so decent time waste here. MVK spotted out in Archives, that's big. eUnited wants to punish that Legion, because if they can get MVK out of this, makes it... Oh, well, we were talking up MVK for a reason. If he dies, it's going to be difficult for EG. He's playing an aggressive angle here with a punch hole. He might get one on the cross, and he will. Beautiful control there. Grixer goes down. MVK always reliable on those long angles. He'll get the second kill for himself and his team. A whole minute left for these remaining eUnited players. So, I mean, it's not like they're strapped for time.
His tempo was started by NVK taking that gamble at the start, hopping out the lone window, as you said, and then eUnited wasn't able to get back at them. That was it. I mean, NVK could have possibly been trapped in main lobby, but nobody from eUnited was able to get there quickly enough. EG controls the main stairs, but NVK drops, and then information was not presented to him that Forrest was laying in wait. Mo will be very patient, so NVK essentially died for Mo to be able to get a kill or two.
That was dangerous there. Forrest could have gotten another kill, but he actually gets stunned by himself. And there's the nade being dropped by Modigga, who is ready and waiting near those main stairs to get Yeti. Reed trying to enter in through reception. He's not going to find anyone, but he will be on the floor. It's all on Forrest now in a 1v3. 15 seconds left as I sync with the announcer. No stuns left in the lifeline for Forrest, so he has to just take these raw engagements, and he's going to lose it to Modigga, who had a great round there. You pair that with MVK's performance, and there you go, EG take yet another.
This is one of the things that we saw when Mo first stepped onto the team, even when Gio was still in the squad, was that Mo and NVK worked really effectively with one another, really effectively. And if they can synergize well, be it in terms of trading off for kills, be it in terms of just providing each other intel, and roam together to deny utility, deny time, pick up a kill or two, EG's chances of winning soar. I mean, even having one player catch fire and synergize well with the rest of the team can be extremely beneficial, but having two, well, that's something that you don't see all that often. There's a couple squads in NA who have lived and died off of the dynamic roam duo. We like to reference Skies and Laxing a lot on the old Elevate squad, Slash and Eclipse on that old Vertical Gaming, then Rogue roster. There's a lot of them. Canadian and NVK used to be that. Then their roles changed around quite a lot. You saw NVK on less fragging roles, then Canadian was on less fragging roles. Now they're all back together on the roles that they need to be. Canadian, of course, playing hard support on another team, but NVK back on fragging roles, and Mo is working alongside him quite well. More of that from EG, and they'll almost assuredly win this map. And it's a map that EG has been historically good at, but that was an older team. It's also worth noting that eUnited have never played Bank in Pro League. Their map pool so far through the 5 games that we've witnessed them play have been Border, Consulate, and Cafe. So it shows that they are not exactly the most adept at Bank. And Bank is a map that a lot of teams don't like to play. It requires a huge amount of droning. It requires a massive amount of communication. And usually, teams will say that utility is required more on Bank than most other maps because there's so many steps that you need to take.
Well, there's a lot of ground to cover. But eUnited haven't made it work for them yet. Or for themselves, I should say. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, I mean, they've been looking a lot better in this matchup than they have in any other so far through the season, in my mind. Like, we've seen these rounds have been pretty confident victories for EG. Mainly, again, off of, we always talk about this Modigga and MVK. Making the dream duo as we watch. It's not a win yet for EG, but it's good to see that they're here to tussle. And again, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why we're talking about Evil Geniuses so much. The reason they're getting all this focus, if you're unfamiliar, is that yeah, eUnited's they're a new team to Pro League. This is fresh for them. You know, they're learning. You gotta attribute them some ground, some room to breathe in their critique. There's less to focus in on with eUnited and be like, well, what's up with this? Why isn't this happening? Evil Geniuses are the only team to, well, one of the only teams to really win apart from Europe in those international lands, and that's really big. There's a kill from Yeti upstairs. Gotcha goes down. One of the roamers dealt with, and that's why we're wondering. It's like, okay, so what is it? What is the deal? There's definitely a lot to focus in on here. Now, there's lots of soft destruction for eUnited, so the fact that they've cleared out Gotcha without taking a casualty, especially in one of those soft destructors in Sledge or Buck, and it means they're going to be able to open up from above pretty easily and put a lot of pressure onto these anchors. And there's not really much that Evil Geniuses can do to counter this. They do have 2 C4s here. They've got a Pulse and a Mozzie, but right now they're not utilizing those to try and deal with the soft destruction. Forrest is also going to get Modigga, so there goes one of your top performers for EG. And this is definitely looking like an eUnited round.
Whether it be just EG's roam is not as good on a Teller's Archives defense, or it's the fact that the entry is better for EU, there's some confidence here in the way that eUnited is playing and the way that they've assembled themselves just to sort of, I guess, surround and push on in towards the Teller's Archives site. There's also a reason why this site doesn't see an awful lot of play. Almost another kill as Reed just narrowly missed out on the dock of NVK. SMG-11 in hand, but if NVK has some stim pistols left, he might be able to heal himself back up. Yet he takes out Necrox, and NVK is on the run. Being spotted as best as he can by the Sledge. He beheads Reed, and now his stim pistols can get him back up to where he was. Callout going for the plant. If this can be denied, then that's a massive opportunity for NVK, but he's not going to be able to do that. Objective down for eUnited, and NVK knows that he's going to have to swing off the top ropes. Everybody on eUnited is at full HP. So NVK is trying to draw them out. He doesn't have any intel. It's very evident by the fact that he runs away, makes as much noise, and then crouch walks back up to try and draw on somebody from eUnited, but nobody takes the bait. The whole bottom of the wall is shot out, but there's going to be a lot of angles for him to consider, and he's spotted. At the top of the main stairs, he doesn't know where they are. Grixer's there, credited with the final kill, and eUnited puts a round on the board.
Well played from eUnited. Good clear there over by the main lobby, and the execution onto the site was just what it needed to be. Great distraction on NVK there from Reed. I'm surprised he didn't get that kill, but of course you can attribute that partially to the pillars. Or not the pillars, I guess just the railing. It's such a pain to shoot people through those rails.
The banisters, whatever they're called?
Yeah, banisters would probably be the best.
Pillars is a good way of putting it.
No matter how you look at it, no matter what you call it, what we can say confidently is that eUnited had a good execution there, and Reed did his job. Despite not getting the kill early into the engagement, he did push NVK off the denial spot that would have prevented the Hibana from going for the plant. So, job done. eUnited taking into account all that needed to be taken into account. The biggest thing is the roam clear upstairs. They managed to get Gotcha, who is the single roamer upstairs, which is strange to leave Gotcha on an island as the vigil. I wouldn't have expected that. And then after Gotcha was dead, there wasn't really, like I said, no real response from EG. Modigga was the next to die, but I don't think he was roaming upstairs. I'm not entirely sure. We didn't see that engagement. What we do know is that put eUnited in into a pretty strong winning position with top 4 control and a manpower advantage. Easy execution from them moving forward. We'll go to the basement for the next round. EG won this last time, so...
And a lot of that came down to the server play and the inability for eUnited to put any pressure on outside of the server. Now, what's coming out is a Ying from Yeti. Obviously, they were watching the matchups that we've seen from Vitality. When you have Hungry playing on that Ying, there's nobody, in my opinion, that is better on Ying in all of Pro League than Hungry. So Yeti, do your best impression, see if you can impress some people. But Ying, especially with the changes that are in the pipeline on the TTS right now, we'll be seeing a bit of greater strength being given to her. If you're not playing a Warden on the top of the stairs, the server stairs, Ying is especially powerful. Not just the server stairs, but also powerful behind the server rack. There's a lot of different ways that Ying can take complete control of that auxiliary area outside, or the peripheral area rather, outside of the site down by lockers. Additionally, eUnited is clearing from both the front of the map and the back of the map. And because EG has 2 different players above, both Mo and NVK, you better ensure that either Yeti or Forrest are droned in effectively.
Torch is ready.
Yeti with the Ying spraying through the wall, looking for his opponent. He knows one's inside of Kitchen. You can tell he's got the information there. NVK playing inside of Teller's. Actually, he might not be looking the right way. Forrest, oh no, he is. Forrest is coming up on that Teller's door, the flag door to be specific. Lots of potential for a pinch onto the player in Tellers, and he's actually just given away that he's there, as it didn't seem like the Thatcher of Grixer was aware. And he'll fall back through the rotation that was pre-placed in the wall towards main stairs. Great job for MVK actually getting away from that engagement. Surprised he did. He was between a rock and a hard place, and he barely had an out in the rotation, but he managed it because Force was a little bit slow on the clear, and Grixer was not aware that there was somebody inside of Tellers when the spray came out from MVK. So a little bit of time wasted, I guess, but the big thing is that MVK got away alive. Meanwhile, the server clear is coming in here. Force is trying to push down the main stairs. It's a really efficient Ash charge, cleared a lot of barbed wire. Here comes the Ying Candela. After, oh no, he threw it too fast! And that allows for a gas canister to come out. The second Candela as well, but it looks like smoke is already rotated. That was a huge blunder there.
Great pick from Forrest on to Gotcha, who peeks, not expecting somebody to be on the main stairs, but eUnited has stacked somebody up there many, many times. There were no drones for Yeti to go on in, so he flew blind down server stairs, if you can deal with the pun involving Ying, and because of this, EG can get away scot-free. That was very poor play from Yeti, not knowing that there was an ADS, not getting droned in. He could have gone through the main door, though, now, as EG is stacked up in the back of lockers and over by garage. Forrest peeks out, gets splattered by NVK, and now the wall and soft destruction will happen. But Young in this power play position, very far back. He sees one sprays through the wall. He'll rely on Necrox to be able to do some significant damage. A Claymore from Reed will get NVK. Diffuser not going down. EG, that's all their kill feed for the taking. 3-1 for them.
It's looking good for EG so far. And again, I will reiterate what I stated earlier. This has been the most confident EG match we've seen so far from them in this season. A lot of these rounds not being close call wins. That one, for example, was a pretty dominant holdout from EG. The server clear was poorly coordinated from eUnited. A couple major mistakes there, of course, to highlight Yeti's Candela. He threw a Candela into the ADS. Now, for those of you wondering why I said he threw it too early, it was because the Thatcher EMP detonated right after he threw the Candela. So Candela gets thrown, ADS catches that Candela, then the EMP detonates and destroys the ADS. That, you know, so wrong series of events there for Yeti. And then the smoke just runs away. Smoke just leaves, goes back into the site.
Didn't burn the ADS, didn't push through the smokes, didn't get droned in. That's the biggest issue. The drone work for eUnited so far has looked very poor.
It's true. And
very, very poor. And I don't know if it's just because it's a big map or not. I mean, there's been a Mozzie on the board for quite a large number of these rounds, but ultimately, Bank is also a big map where Mute Jammers, Mozzie Pests, and a Vigil aren't necessarily going to have the same impact that they will on something like Consulate.
Lots of room.
So much room for activities.
Yeah, and you can drone around a pest, usually. There's another door, or a drone hole, or just a giant open area. You don't have to worry about it. But you're right, the drone work has been pretty bad. I mean, we did see, for example, NVK. He played inside of Tellers, and I don't think that eUnited even knew he was there for a while in the last round. And then NVK gets out of that. How does he get out of that? It's because, again, they didn't know. They were unaware. I mean, it seemed that way. If they were aware, then that's even worse. But what we do know is, yeah, the drone play appears to be pretty poor from eUnited.
I mean, like I said, eUnited has not played Bank at a Pro League level, unless they have through qualifiers. We're talking solely in Pro League against actual Pro League teams.
Good check.
You can check when the last time they played this map was. Yep. But Border, Consulate, and Cafe are the only 3 maps that they played, so they've been very consistent with their map pool. And I know every team is going to say that they have a good map pool. And we are now at a point in the game where there is no 9 map pool anymore, it's 7, and you have 2 insta-bans. So you know that your map pool at worst only needs to be 5 maps. If, depending on who you're playing against, you might need to not do a ton of prep on a certain map or 2, even though you necessarily will. There's a high likelihood that eUnited just might not be a team that is very strong on Bank and didn't necessarily want to play it, but because of the way that the bans worked out, they end up playing it, who knows.
So from October of last year to now, they haven't played Bank.
So there you go.
I mean, like, that's not the extent of their careers, of course, but that's just a large period.
Does that include the qualifiers?
I believe so, yeah. I think it covers pretty much everything, but I can check the qualifiers just to be sure.
It's all right. I mean, we don't need to know for sure. It's speculation on our part, and you know, it was actually talked about by Liloun from Vitality today in her interview with Milos, when, you know, she said people were asking, you know, why? Oh no, NVK.
Bad timing.
Yet again, Forrest has not left these stairs. You got to know he's there. Every single time, Forrest is in the same position, time and time again.
He's playing main stairs really well. It's like it's just his job. They're like, hey, Forrest, if you control main stairs, we have a large pillar to lean on.
I'll get towards the map conversation later, obviously, since now there's only a minute left.
Yeah.
Down goes another Young. Peeks on out as Grixer on Repel manages to take him down. 3 members of EG sitting inside of the site, one of whom is just narrowly offside, I suppose, so 2 in the site. EU's going to watch the hatches. Gotcha doesn't know that Reed is there. This is the second time in a row Gotcha's been killed with his back turned to the engagement. Not ideal. Mo drops down. He finds Reed. That's an easy shot for Mo to make. He makes them quite a lot, playing ranked at 4 in the morning with his stack that never loses games. 30 seconds left. Necrox and Mo, 1 on site, 1 off site. Tons of marks, tons of intel. Will EG be able to capitalize off of it? Necrox doing considerable damage with the commando. 13 bullets left. He'll have to go for a reload. He's got punch kills, punch holes, a blend if he needs them. Mo snaps onto Forrest. Looking to get back into the site. He can watch Long Desk and Conference. Still more marks. Nobody from eUnited is trying to find this yokai drone. But it doesn't matter. There's a 3rd for Mo, 4th for Mo. He needs 1 more for his ace. Oh. He's not going to get it. Grixer's there, and as hot as Mo is, he gets cooled off, and eUnited takes the round after a heroic and commendable effort from Modigga.
The man almost had it. So very close. I will reiterate, Modigga, a hot talent coming into Pro League. And yeah, I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of experience, but boy, oh boy, does that not matter, apparently. Being one of the top performers for Evil Geniuses, add MVK on top of that, they are the 2 sparkling lights here for EG, and so close to an ace, if only. If only. Necrox got pretty much, well, I'm not going to beat around it. He didn't have a good time on that wall. He was in a position where he could have punished eUnited several times, and just didn't happen. It's painful when something like that goes down, when you watch that actually transpire, and then you see Modigga doing his best, his most valiant effort to push that into a win, regardless. Such a nice try. Great positioning from Modigga, great aim from Modigga. And that's the story of the round for Evil Geniuses. That's the end of that.
So close yet so far.
Good execution from eUnited also. They got MVK at the beginning of the round. Great kill from Forrest. That's a really good start. They turn that into main stairs control, main lobby control, and then they push from banana to reception to the site. And all the while they're getting kills. So we go to CEO for the last bomb site. This will be the 3rd attempt. It is currently 1-1 for each team, so this could go either way. This will be a large determining factor on the outcome of the match. If Evil Geniuses can end this in a 4-2, then EG might be able to spin it into a win, possibly be favored towards a draw. But United could easily get 3-3 out of this by the way that they've been playing recently. A lot of it is going to come down to, and I know we're saying their names a lot, but NVK and Modigga, will they get picked off early? Will they put up a strong performance in this round? Sometimes that's just the story, and it seems to be this time.
Or go the double panel walls. A lot of people call that Kanto spot because of the work that he put in on Echo, if you remember, and Doc when he played there before with the ACOG. A very strong position to play if you put I guess a deployable camera or a bulletproof camera, or a yokai drone, just to give yourself intel, play off it very selfishly.
That's Kanto Raketti on G2 in Europe, for those of you who are new to Rainbow Six.
We call it Kanto spot. I know a couple teams actually refer to it as Kanto spot.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that, well, he popularized how strong it can be a couple seasons back. So,
yeah.
Is this Forrest running the not angled grip, by the way?
Yeah, I think he's using vertical. I mean, if you're not gonna un-ADS, then it's fine. You know, we've had this come up a couple times, but...
And Forrest has been playing like that. Think about what he's been doing. Oh my goodness!
Stuff like that.
Goodbye, Young. I guess you don't need the angled grip.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ADS when you're in the engagement, then the vertical is better. And then something to keep in mind, your spread is a circle on your screen, right? It constricts as you click mouse 2, and in the transfer you can still land shots. So you don't have to be fully ADS to kill somebody accurately in this game. So technically speaking, angle grip is not always necessary. even on an LMG, if you're accurate enough with your muscle memory.
And it might be a requirement after if the ADS changes.
Oh, I mean,
I said
if it does.
I said after because I mean most things that land on the TTS don't get reverted. They almost always get it put in correct.
We said it in the opposite, but we meant the same thing.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And for those that recall, the ADS speed used to be slower. It got sped up by mistake, and now it is going back, reverting to where it was.
Which is pretty. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a really interesting change if it does get to the main build.
So. It's a front lobby take from eUnited. Forrest has been very good on the opening picks. He's gotten almost every single one for his team. He's going to do some considerable damage to what appeared to be NVK. The Mozzie will be able to get out alive? That's the real question. Necrox fires back onto Yeti. It was the Buck that was at the top of main stairs. Down goes Gotcha, peeks into Reed, not expecting somebody to be there. Mo is also punished. Down goes Necrox. It's NVK who had taken some damage down below. He's got a Nitro Cell in hand, 20 seconds left. He can stop the plant, but he'll expend the Nitro Cell early. Doesn't get anybody. He'll run right into Forrest. First kill, last kill, that's all that matters. 3-3, not bad for Bank. eUnited draws even, and both teams will swap sides.
Well, United salvaging that in the second quarter, it looked like EG were going to be putting up pretty big numbers, really strong position based on their basement defenses especially. But other than the basement defenses from EG, the only place that they managed to win was CEL the one time. The second time and the third time they went to CEL, they lost it, as we just witnessed. United having a good attack half there because of that. Is MVK going to play Fuse? No, of course not.
He'd never do that.
No. Nobody does that. Honestly, he'd get played if he were 2-speed.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think that's all that matters?
No, it's not all that matters, but like
Gridlock's a 3 armor and she gets played.
She has more utility. So she has more objectively useful utility. Like if we're looking at the meta right now,
so she has smokes just like he does.
There's two things to consider. There's the utility in just outright.
I'm with you on this ride.
Okay, there's the utility just outright, right?
Yes.
But then more importantly, in my opinion, is the meta right now. The meta is just not like, I mean, if we were still in Mirror Window meta, yeah, he'd get played a lot. If we were 2 armor, 2 speed, he'd get played a bunch. But we're not in that rigid meta anymore. We're just not. You need to be able to win those gunfights like just on the fly, on offsite engagements, 1v1s. You need to be able to be mobile as a defender, and that's already established. Fuse would just reinforce it. It's not necessary.
I mean, what I would love to have seen with Fuse is take away his shield, make him a 2-2, and then you're on the money. I mean, his gadget's still not going to be great, but I mean, he's a menace at low ranks.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they're not going to take his shield away ever because there's like paid content on it, and there's no chance.
Yeah, you can buy skins and stuff.
Yeah, it's
a unique shield.
Imagine you buy the elite set, which comes with that cool skin on the shield, and then they take the shield away. You'd be angry.
Yeah,
so probably rightfully so.
I mean, maybe they just put the shield on his back or something. That would be a buff, and it would mean that you could keep the shield assets.
Yeah, but you wouldn't kill him. And, discussion for another day.
I don't know. I'm trying to. Anyway.
Now, one player on eUnited who's actually taken quite a lot of criticism from the masses is Callout, and he has some of the lowest fragging stats in all of Pro League. It prompted the coach Execration to come out and say that, once again, like many people have been saying recently, you don't know what goes on with the team. You have no idea the amount of things that Callout is willing to do for us when we ask him to do them. Obviously, it's apologies
for the way she said it, too.
She said it so sassy.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I had to stop. I was like, my goodness. She's like, damn.
Yeah, I got that same exact vibe.
I was like, I got to stop talking. I got to listen to her anyway. He has 0 kills so far, but his contributions on attack have been on hard breach and full support. And you don't know, maybe he's droning Forrest in. We had talked about the shoddy drone work that had come out from eUnited. Maybe Callout was the one that was keeping the drone work intact for the team. Maybe he was the one who picked up the pace. We don't really know.
Well, with a series of kills going on while this is being discussed, MVK will get Yeti. So one of the roamers and tellers downed, and Reed with the shotgun will get one before being finished off by Young. That's Gotcha on the floor. Capitao can be instrumental in the outcome of a round for an attacking team, as he can cut off a lot of rotations with both his firebolts and his smokes. But that's not going to happen this round. He's just gone. Evil Geniuses don't have a man advantage. They don't really have positional advantage. They're running out of time. Where are they going to attack is the next question. I right now am not seeing the strategy from EG. Looks like they still want to open up the hallway drop down. Maybe a main stairs take in through garage as well. That's where MVK is going. MVK is historically very good at taking garage as an individual. So yeah, given the situation, EG is going to switch to a back take. And as Modigga gets Grixer, that actually could be feasible. But NVK in the garage is eliminated, and that's a really big kill because he was about to flank on the entire defending team.
Forces the drop of Modigga under very careful watch, and both members of EG will decide to head on down over towards Vault. Forrest has been exceptionally good this game. There have been some people saying that he's not the best on the team, but he's making his presence known. Young wins the gunfight. That's something that Young doesn't usually miss. It's going to be Callout now. He'll need not just 1 kill, but 2 kills. And he'll get shot down. He won't find them. No, sir. EG with the cross. Mo inside of gold. He'll end that round, and EG will regain the lead.
For me right now, honestly, I'm seeing a whole lot of who's on. You know, we talk about the star players on both of these squads quite a lot, and often it will come down to who's having the right match, who's in the right position, who's getting the kills, and we're seeing a lot of that. In this case, it was Modigga in that round, and we've seen. I think Modigga is probably the most awake player today. He is putting up some big numbers, some big performances, and if not for him, I don't know if we would have the same scoreline we do right now. Probably not. That last round, I gotta say, I think eUnited should have been able to take that, especially after MVK got picked off in the garage. That, to me, that signaled a clear end to the round. eUnited, they've got full control. Yes, Modigga got 1 player by the main stairs, but so what? Or actually, I think that might have been a player trying to flank by in kitchen, but we didn't see that kill, so I can't say as an authority. It was either main stairs, pushing up main stairs, or Modigga pushing down main stairs, or they were trying to flank from kitchen. Either way, yeah, early kill for Modigga in that 3v3, but then the kill on MVK should have sealed the deal. Another thing that I want to bring up also is if it was a flank from kitchen, and I'm hoping for that defender's benefit that it wasn't, then why the heck are you trying to flank in a 3v3 with like, was it 30 seconds left?
Yes.
Just about? I just waited out. But anyway, that's a nitpick, of course. So 4-3 here. You can see that the scoreline is quite interesting. We got a lot of stories going on there. Callout has yet to find his first frag. Happens. It does. Sometimes you just get put in a corner. Sometimes you feel like you really can't make it work. And that seems to be the situation here for Callout. Also, sometimes you get given roles. And you were talking about this earlier. Sometimes you get given roles that you're just not comfortable on, and you're doing it because your team needs you to do it, and you're not going to get kills in that position or as that operator, and that's just life. Yeah.
I was going to try to tie that into like a Life of Brian quip because of the because Terry Jones passed away today from Monty Python, but there was nothing there.
I have no idea what any of this is.
It's like I just spoke a different language to you.
Different language, yeah.
Totally different language. Okay, well, The Life of Brian is a movie by Monty Python, which is a British comedy troupe.
Is it the one with the people who get put up on the crucifixes and they talk to each other? And there's that like that's one of the skits in it. Is that not it?
I actually haven't seen The Life of Brian.
Oh.
I haven't watched the movie. I was just going to try to make a reference to it.
I've seen a lot of Monty Python, so I might have seen it.
I've seen a bunch of clips of it. I haven't seen the full movie. I believe it is, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I was going to try to make a quip, and then I realized like I don't actually know enough of the movie to make a proper reference.
Okay.
I don't want to be like...
It's okay, it's okay.
Milos made a Monty Python joke actually earlier in the broadcast on EU. He made a Monty Python and the Holy Grail quip. I don't know if he's aware that Terry Jones died today, but anyway. It's just a thin wafer. It's just wafer thin. Anyway.
Oh yeah, because his body, yeah.
And he blows up. You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Michael, you got a reference. We did it.
We're doing it.
We did it. Everybody should be overjoyed with this. Anyway.
We're doing it, chat.
1 minute left, and what has happened? Virtually nothing. EG is attacking from square. Skylight stairwell. Another C4 kill will start off the round. Yet he got one in the previous round. Now it's Callout's turn, and he got his very first kill.
He's on the board.
Oh, you did it.
Hey. Well, we'll see if he can get any more. Modigga coming in to get that diffuser that was dropped by Young. EMP's coming out here as well to get any kind of stop that might be established, like Legion traps if there were any, but there is no Legion. Necrox eats a lot of damage from an aggressive peek from Callout, but is not fully punished there. Neither of them die, surprisingly. Modigga's even going to eat some damage from Callout. Here's a run out in the main lobby, not being watched, and Forrest gets a very easy kill into Gotcha. No drone main lobby for a dead person to watch, nobody holding it. Necrox entering into Paper gets 2. Impressive gunplay from him.
It's 2 kills. Forrest has been doing exceptionally well. He needs to get back to site. There he goes. He's very close. Yet he sees 1. Drops Mo. Gets a second 2. Doing his best Necrox impression. NVK will have to ascend the stairs. Gives himself away when he hits the barbed wire. And Forrest will be tasked with that final kill. Forrest has been very good today. And I say this a lot because there have been a lot of questions about this eUnited roster. Obviously it's a roster that's still in flux because Alfama has not been playing on the roster. He's been put on the roster, so it's like, I don't know. There's some questions being asked. But anyway, Forrest is silencing his critics today. He's been involved in most of the opening picks, and he's been getting a lot of the very final kills. But the rest of the team, honestly, after EG was able to take in from Skylight Stairwell, they couldn't get in through the openings. So where'd they go? They went through Paper, or Janitor, as it's called by every human being on Earth. They go in through Janitor. Is that as a dig at you? I think you're the only person who's ever called it Paper, by the way. I've never heard anybody else call it Paper. It's like the meme where it's the 2 hands like clasping together, and it's like every region, every other region calling it Janitor. And then you're like the only one that calls it Paper. Say it.
No.
Say it.
No, I don't want to.
Say it.
I don't want to encourage you.
I'm still hurting after the whole pink bar fiasco.
I don't want to encourage you. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not like I acknowledge. Like, listen, I'm not going to say that I have all the right calls because nobody does. Like that doesn't exist. And that's why. And I'm just trying to fix that.
How are you trying to fix it?
I'm not gonna plug it right now. I'm not gonna plug it right now. All right. But it's not gonna be me. It's gonna be everybody in the community. Okay. And it's gonna be everyone getting their word in. So, like, you will get to have a say.
I like when people are equal, man.
All the players will get to have a say. Talents, you know, coaches,
the square
the community.
The square.
And we'll figure it out, Parker. And then we'll have all one call for everything.
So as much as we've been focusing on Callout, by the way, with the fact that he only has a single kill, joining him at the bottom of the standings, Gotcha has only 1 kill as well. He's 1-1-7. Almost at the 007, but he got a kill earlier.
Breadstick buddies!
There you go, breadstick buddies. They're starting a bakery together, and they're baking breadsticks. So people are going to, there's going to be people inevitably that flies over the head. Why is it called breadsticks? Well, because a 1 looks like a breadstick.
And then a 0, if you have that, is a donut. So
it looks like a donut.
They got to be like kind of pastry or, I guess, just bakery stuff, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, Necrox clearing into open area. We've got good information being gathered here from Evil Geniuses on most of the top floors. There are roamers here. This is a basement defense right now, but we've got roamers by Tellers. Believe that's Yeti inside of Tellers. Necrox coming up on the rotation. After he shot that cam, he will be given away, but it doesn't seem like Yeti's aware. So there you go. Necrox gets that kill on the attempted rotate from Yeti, who's trying to get aggressive on NVK, who was contesting him from the main lobby. There are other roamers up here, I believe. We do have a Mozzie Grixer upstairs. Not sure exactly where he is, but yeah, he's right above the drop down. So he will be able to fall back right as he's been droned, but he's caught by NVK. A big win there, but he doesn't spot the player standing on desk. That's Forrest who gets the refrag.
What a play by Forrest. Just you do not get away with that 90% of the time. But NVK was like, I got 2 people. I guess I might as well keep going. Surely there's not a third.
And then there's a third.
And there was.
Standing on a desk in the middle of CCTV.
We have seen an absurdly high number of people that just peek the hatch now. This hatch in particular, I don't know what it is. What is in the water?
Well, it's because you don't expect it. You really don't. I mean, even after you know what's going to happen, you don't expect it. It's weird.
Expect the unexpected.
I guess that is kind of what you need to do in the current meta of Pro League, to be honest.
This Capital from Gotcha is going to be a major pain in the behind for eUnited, especially if it's applied onto site and then a drop goes off from EG. They have a numbers advantage, so if the trades come out, then they will just simply be able to win it out. But no, Forrest is just peeking every hatch. 3 kills from Forrest so far, peeking hatches in this round alone, and he has every kill for his team, and now the advantage goes to eUnited, and they could take this round as well with it. So there's 30 seconds and utility being dumped in from EG, doesn't find anybody. It sounds like there might have been 1 drop over by Vault, and yes, there is. Both inside of Vault. This is heard by Forrest. He can continue to give those calls.
A bomb has been located.
You had to delay time. He'll find the Thatcher, looking for the ace! He'll get it! Forrest every kill in the round. Exceptional play. And you can cash that 1. in the bank.
Yeah, he's very happy about that. I got that reference, Parker. Because it's their vault door to the bank.
Yeti is calling for, MDK is calling for a rehost.
Wonder what's going on there.
Forrest got all 5 kills. Can we rehost?
Young has no sound. Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess we will be going to a rehost after the admin calls it. Yeah, there it is.
There it is indeed, a rehost. So they're like, yeah, Forrest got 5 kills. We need to rehost.
Pause.
It's a joke, by the way.
And then the admins go, wait, you can't do that. And then
That's a joke. There's no way to pause this game in live action. We can pause on the LAN build.
you get one timeout on LAN in each map. So that's a thing. But here there is
Per
no
team.
timeout. So
Per team.
Young doesn't have sound.
Per team. Per team, one timeout.
Per team, yeah. So you have 2. That is good, as important distinction to be made. Could be 2. And often we don't see all of them utilized, actually. Sometimes we have matches or maps where none are used, sometimes just one.
Yeah.
There are different philosophies for each team on how to use them. Some teams use them to try and stop the bleeding, to prevent an outright loss. Other teams, like Dark Zero, I think Dark Zero has my favorite way. So what they do is if they're on a losing streak, they wait until they win a round, and then after they've won a round, they use a timeout to then win the next round, and then basically they start a streak by getting 2 in a row because they can set up a pocket strat for the second round. It's really cool to watch. I don't see it.
I think they did it twice in Tokonami, at least once in Tokonami that I can remember.
It was an interesting little formula, and I think in my mind, as long as you're confident enough that you're going to be able to stop the bleeding without the timeout, it's smart, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could just lose outright and be done.
Now, what's the story of this matchup for you? If I said set a narrative.
Oh,
you looking at?
individual plays.
Individual plays.
Individual plays by far and away. We're seeing a lot of 1v1s that are honestly really sloppy. We're seeing a lot of moments where people are missing out on opportunities. We're seeing a lot of wonky play from both squads. In general, in terms of the coordination, the strategies and the setups, the droning's pretty poor on both sides. Individual plays, people finding the gaps, moving through those gaps, getting things like a 3K on the drones, or on the drop downs rather, and then an ace total in the round.
I mean, a 3K on the drones is exceptional, because that leaves only 7 drones left.
Pro tip, if you want to do drone economy, and I actually used to do this the wrong way around, but usually most people, what they'll do is they'll count down. So they'll count or count up rather, and they'll count. We've destroyed 3 drones, so they have 7. We've destroyed 4 drones, so they have 6. But instead of doing that,
If we destroyed 5 drones, they have 5.
But instead of doing that, what you can do when you want to do drone economy to help your team is you just count the total that they have. So if you destroy a drone, they have 9. If one of your teammates destroys, they have 8. Just do it automatically and say 8 drones left, 7 drones left. It's actually a really useful tool if you're trying to get into like entry-level siege comp. And at a higher level, drone counting is a thing that is often done. Not for every team, mind you, but it is a useful tool.
You'll hear it in ranked if you watch various streamers and content creators play and people that are at a high level, because if you know they don't have any drones, just the fact that you know that they only have, like, let's say 1 drone left or 2 drones left, if you're still counting, throughout the course of an entire match, if some team drives their drones all haphazard-like into the middle of the site, and then you shoot 3 of them in the prep phase, you know that there's going to be somebody that's only got 1 drone left. If you get 2 early picks, you're not going to know this necessarily, but you might have already just reduced them even more.
So count down your drones, count the total, and just keep whittling that lower and lower as the round goes on. Anyway, so yeah, for me, the story of this match, as we are loading back in right now, but we have to make sure everything's set up correctly before we actually get you back in. But just so you know, it is happening. Everything looks correct. So we should be able to jump back into the match once it's called. But yeah, the story for me in this match has just been through and through individual plays. I mean, we've been seeing a lot from Modigga and VK, Forrest in that last round. Again, a 3K on the drop downs and then an ace total in the round. He's in the right spot at the right time. And how did he accomplish that? The enemy didn't drone him. The enemy didn't know. They didn't check. They, whatever level of negligence you want to lean on, lack of information gathering from the attacking team, or a lack of preparedness, doesn't matter. They didn't do it. So Forrest was always in a blind spot, whether it be prone under the window, standing on a desk in CCTV, doesn't matter. Always in a blind spot, picking up an ace. So information and individual plays. Teller's archives for EU.
Let's just say eUnited.
I'm going to call them Knighted from now on.
Please don't.
Attackers need to locate
Please
and
do
defuse
not.
bomb.
Knighted in the
Please
lead right
do not
now.
do that, Michael.
They are going to Tellers.
I don't think they'd appreciate that from a brand perspective.
I'm just messing. Of course, I'm not actually going to do that. eUnited going to Tellers. Does sound kind of cool.
Fire is deployed.
What?
Knighted, you know, imagine like you get knighted with the sword
It's
on,
not.
on your shoulder. No.
It does not.
Well, you could be such a stickler there, Parker.
10
I'm gonna be a
seconds
stickler. I'm just telling you my thoughts, Michael. To be honest with one
You're
another.
not allowed to have an opinion.
remaining. 5 seconds left before
against the rules.
insertion.
I can't have opinions. It's
Attackers
against my
are
religion.
moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Reed has traded out the shotgun for a UMP, so the castle's not going to be positioned in a way that he takes those close-range fights. And we'd seen it time and time again with these defenses here from the castle, holding the, what is it, the M1015 or something like that, or the M1014?
There's a 9 in there. There's a 9 in there for sure.
M1014 or something like that, or one of the shotguns is like that. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure there's a
shotguns,
9. I don't know where, though.
If you, I'm going to say this right now, if you're one of those people who can name every single shotgun in the game, including like Mira's shotgun and all that jazz, you are a nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd. Grixer eliminates Gotcha. Goodbye to the IQ. I think Gotcha and Callout still only had 1 kill apiece, but we have lost those statistics because once a rehost happens, the kills do not transfer
Wah,
over.
wah.
Unfortunate. They do on land, because when you have a rehost, all you do is just pause the lobby and people rejoin. But
You can't pause online.
that is true. We'll say that again. So. A Nitro Cell goes off from Grixer. That's going to be a second pick, and it's on to Mo, who enters through Square, and nobody seems to understand that. Forrest now, obviously feeling his aim. He's under fire just outside of stock. Does a little bit of damage to Young. Necrox is there with Young for backup. 2 members of EG. We'll try to find 1 member of eUnited. It's a waste of time, though, because that puts NVK in a 1v4.
I don't think anyone's actually going to push onto Forrest. I think they're just going to leave him there. You can see that the way that the Evil Geniuses are playing right now is a little bit scared on that. And there he is. He gets
No
another opportunity. He just
way!
runs out. You don't even check for it. Now MVK is alone. He's going to have to ace, and he's only going to get 1. Yet he finishes that, and it's match point eUnited. Just like that.
So EG picks up 3 rounds on defense, swaps on over to attack, and EU with the dominant performance, or knighted as you want to call them.
eUnited.
eUnited.
E.
I was gonna make a joke about how it's like e-sports, e-cigarettes, e-dating, eUnited.
The way that we keep saying E makes me think of that one company.
It's a fruit. Like the fruit logo? No. I was
No,
gonna
not
say
that
about
one.
how they put,
The
like,
one that
I-
everyone, you know, like.
I actually don't understand what you're saying, but that's fine. If you
I'm trying to like mime it to him.
He was making erratic hand gesture.
Erratic.
I honestly think. Stop trying to confuse those words.
Some
okay?
people got that.
That was probably the worst round from EG in this matchup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Worst round for EG. They didn't have any control over
Attackers
the
need to
rooms
locate
outside of
and
the bomb
defuse
site. It was a
bombs.
Teller's Archives defense on the main floor. And it was entirely defended upstairs in CEO, which is normal. But EG just brutally ineffective at countering it.
The way that I would put it is it's like we're seeing the EG that we saw in like previous matches through the season.
Okay.
It's like it's the resurgence of that EG. Whereas in the earlier rounds for this match, we were honestly seeing some pretty good stuff from EG. In the first half especially, the first quarter of this match, they looked really solid. And then since round number 4, EG has only picked up 1 round. That was in round number 7. That was the first round of the second half. And they're going to need to get 2 to get a draw. No win here for Evil Geniuses. No potential for a win. Grixer waiting for a run out. You can tell how confident eUnited is at this point.
Bomb located by attackers.
I wonder what the Electronic United? Actually,
Stop. It's just eUnited. Just leave it. That's what they want to call it.
Okay.
Necrox on the Ash. NVK doing the exact same thing he always does, wary of the runout that he himself committed over by Lone Office. 3 members of EG looking for a lobby take. Open area is the site for eUnited to stick a dagger in the hearts of EG and their fans. EG will need 2 rounds in order to draw. Winning is out of the question. And EG's stumbling block has been this second floor. They have not known how to deal with it. When it was a CEO defense from eUnited, EG stumbled. When it was a Teller's defense down below, and there was still some defenders from eUnited above, EG stumbled. And now an open area take will require, once again, very similar presence upstairs. But the good news is that eUnited has not structured their defense in CEO, so EG can take it and be clear as day to just continue to maneuver, drone out, and then plot their attack. And they'll start off with the opening pick as NVK gets Grixer, and eUnited loses the Vigil.
So MVK upstairs, able to do some soft destruction. EG have that control that they have so coveted on this top floor. Finally, doing a pretty great job of clearing out the top. They're going to be able to apply a lot of pressure to open, but not so much, because Kitchen, of course, doesn't have anything you can destroy from above. There is still potential for eUnited to just hold this out in the site nice and solid. The long angles. MVK will get Callout, though, downstairs. So it's a very different result from what we used to be seeing from MVK on the staircase. On the roam. This time he's the hunter instead of the hunted. Evil Geniuses have a solid lead right now, and a minute to execute, and it's going to get even better as Forrest attempts to flank and fails. Now it's just Reed and Yeti in a 2v5. Young going for a plant. Yokai drones might still be in play, and yes, indeed they are. There's one denial there from Reed. He's going to peek and go for a second with the gun. He needs to get back on drone to deny this, and he will do that again. The flank from Yeti works out. He even barely misses the planter, actually. Gotcha covers from the drop down, and Modigga will get the last kill. Reed gone, Evil Geniuses push it to the last round of this match.
Much better performance from EG there. And I mean, I have to question why you could have gone back to CEO and yet you didn't. That's a question that I think that eUnited should answer. They went to CEO, they won. They went to Lockers, they won. They went to Tellers, they won. They could have gone back to CEO, but instead, they give what? Maybe the disrespect by winning it on open area, a site that a lot of teams don't particularly enjoy playing. You could have gone back to the site that you won before, but obviously you didn't like something about it. So there will be no gamble this time as the very last site, I guess, that we'll see in the very last round. We'll go to Lockers and CCTV for eUnited, and they'll look to continue their winning ways over Evil Geniuses. But there's a draw potential here. Still, 1 point for each team. Honestly, 1 point for each team is probably a worst-case scenario in the standings. eUnited came in trailing LG by a single point, so 1 point, they'll go up and they'll tie. If they win, they'll be able to vault over LG, and they'll also vault over, or rather tie Rec, and depending on what happens with Rec in that very final matchup against Tempo Storm, well, who knows exactly what will happen to the standings. EG desperately need 1 point, though, as they have Tempo Storm 2 below them.
Every point does matter, for sure, for both of these squads, and you're absolutely right. A draw would be devastating. eUnited trying to push away from that. They'll go to the basement. And if we take a look at the history of the basement for this team, it is 1-1 currently. United having won it one time, and Evil Geniuses having won it another on the second half. So the moment where EG actually won the attack here was at the very first round of the second half. I don't know. It's definitely anyone's round. From looking at this, I'm not gonna say that either one of these squads should just take it outright. Is Forrest going for he went for a tunnel run out just now.
They're taking chances. They're obviously feeling pretty good about this, and Forrest in particular has every reason to do so. He's been one of the standout performers, if not the standout performer for eUnited. And usually, if you looked at those statistics, you'd imagine that somebody like Grixer or Yeti could really do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Reed has done a lot of work, but this is one of Reed's worst games, actually. He's been playing a lot of different operators. He hasn't been playing the Maestro. He's been playing on Echo. Hasn't looked the same as he has in the past.
And VK got that Yokai drone from the skylight, which is pretty big. We were talking about Reed?
I mean, we were talking about a lot of stuff, but yeah, Reed.
Yeah, I mean, is it weird that he's, in my mind, it's kind of weird that he's playing the Echo instead of the Maestro.
I don't know why they're not playing the Maestro.
It's not banned, so it's an odd choice. But, yeah, they committed to it. It's the last round. Don't really have a choice anymore. Stuck with what you've got. Evil Genius is starting to establish top 4 control. I wonder if they've cleared out the roamers or not. I think there's no roamers on the top 2 floors right now. I think it's just everybody in sight. Yeah, you got 3, 4, probably one in garage. So yeah, there you go. So you got everybody in sight for eUnited, assuming you count the server stairs as sight. I think that's not a roaming position. It's definitely in the periphery of the site, but it's not a roaming position. Here comes the... that's a gas canister that just got shot midair by Young. That's crazy. Impressive stuff. Where goes one of the gas canisters. The push will fail, though, for the attack, but actually work out in the end as Modigga picks up 2 big kills. Evil Genius is now not only killing 2 players in server, but the smoke to boot, and they have plenty of time with server control.
And eUnited was credited with the very first kill there because Callout swung out the way that he did. Forrest did not need to give his life away, but he re-engaged, and unfortunately, it puts his team at a disadvantage now. So a draw looking very likely between these two teams. It really depends on what happens next. Here goes some of the hatch, and Grixer's patience below as he will imitate the teammate of Forrest. You can go for the plant now.
That was the second yokai that just got destroyed. Now it's all on C4s, and there are 2 for eUnited, but there's plenty of bodies for EG.
As Grixer doing some significant damage, but Young should be able to get this diffuser down. No, he falls off, fearing a possible C4 going out. They must know that they've got those yokais down. Mo shuts down Grixer, but gets traded off by Yeti. On the hatch, Yeti can't land the shots. Reed in a 1v3, the body shot machine Adams. What is he able to put together? Or will EG be able to get themselves a point despite match point being in favor of eUnited? Reed's got his back turned to the diffuser, and he's blind on information. He'll get peeked from the bottom of server stairs in just a second if EG decides to commit. Machine pistol out, he looks the wrong way. A lousy match for Reed in comparison to what we'd expected before. It was not peak body shot performance, not what you're usually going to see. Don't really need any performance here because you're not going to see any of the stats. It's a draw from both of these teams.
So a good performance there from eUnited. A interesting one from Evil Genius.